How's it going, Deep Dive Sports fans? It's David, and tonight I am joined with Dom, and we are recording another On Deck episode. How's it going, Dom?
Oh, doing pretty good. Some late night podcasting,
Yes, sir.
showing the dedication to our listeners here. It's 11 o'clock, and I got to be up at 5 o'clock, and we still here, putting out content for you guys. So,
Uh, yes, sir. Anyways, so we've got two main topics that we've got today, and the first one that I kind of want to get to was early in August. I almost said October there for a second, but earlier in August, on the 12th to be exact, marked the 31st anniversary of the longest MLB players strike. It lasted 232 games, which included 900 games, including the 94 playoffs and the 94 World Series. Got two main questions for this. One, do you think we could see this type of strike again? And if you do, what would be the cause? And just kind of explain.
yeah, I think we definitely could. I think we're heading towards one. I
Okay.
think there's a major divide right now between the players and the owners, and obviously among financial lines. Um, I think you're going to see a push for a lot of changes by ownership. I think MLB is going to want to try to figure out how to more evenly distribute the money. I think the TV, like the regional sports networks, are going to be a major point of contention.
Mhm.
I think the owners are going to try to push for a salary cap that the MLBPA will never accept. I think there's a lot of big issues that MLB and the players union are going to try to, you know, fight through, and I don't see a quick end to it. So whenever this CBA comes to an end and they're in negotiations again, I it wouldn't surprise me if we lose half of the season, if not more,
Okay.
because I think that the issues are that important, and both sides are very entrenched into their positions, and I don't know who will be willing to compromise.
Mhm. And that's completely fair because I think we brought this up kind of like both the topic that Nick and I did and what we did a couple weeks ago. I think that if we do come to a compromise, I think that we should have kind of like a cap floor, like we were kind of talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah, I remember we talked about that before.
Hmm. Because it's like I think the biggest issue is you got half the league's willing to spend money, and the other half of the league is not willing to spend basically anything. And that's
Yeah,
the biggest issue.
yeah, and that I think that kind of goes into how these teams are funded. It's through obviously ticket sales,
Mm,
but TV revenue is a major part of the finances of these organizations. So you got organizations like the Yankees that have their own network. You have the Dodgers and the Braves and the Cubs that have these incredible TV deals that they're making in 1 year what like the Guardians more than the Guardians payroll,
mm,
just off their TV deals. Um, Meanwhile, you got the Guardians that are just streaming through MLB.com, and
mm,
the Pirates. I think they're still on Root Sports, but their TV deal is a fraction of what the average Major League Baseball team is. So you have a lot of these small to mid market teams that are getting a tenth of the revenue, if any of the revenue, that a lot of these bigger teams are getting. So yes, the smaller market teams need to spend more money, but they also need more money too.
mm.
So I think that is the root cause of multiple issues, because if teams had more money, I think teams like the Guardians, the Rays, I'm trying to think of
Athletics.
like other smaller market teams. Yeah, like
Well,
they'll,
formerly the Oakland Athletics, they might be
yeah,
bigger now
I
with
think they'll
Las
be
Vegas.
more willing to spend once they get to Vegas. But you know, your traditional cheap teams, I think a lot of them will be more willing to spend if they were bringing in more money on better TV deals.
Mm,
So I think that that's a big one. But I think the biggest issue is going to be the salary cap.
yeah, that definitely is, and definitely it's like I think that if they could come up with maybe a plan B like ahead of time, say, hey, we want this, but here's another option that we can go for.
Yeah,
So I think that's because it's like you and I both agree on that. It's like the MLBPA is never going to agree on that
no. I think the
ever.
only compromise that they could potentially consider is if they were to go to like the NBA model where, yeah, there's a cap that's kind of a soft cap. You can go over it to re-sign your players and you can have, you know, super max deals and mid-level exceptions, stuff like that.
Mm,
Um, I think that would be more of a compromise than going to just like the NFL system. This is your cap. You can't spend over it. Good luck. Manage it the best that you can, but you can't go over this. So
mm,
we'll see. I expect a long, ugly battle. And
yep.
unfortunately, I think we're going to miss a lot of games.
And then question, when is this contract supposed to be up again for the CBA?
And it's something I should know off the top of my head, but you know what? I
Same
don't.
here.
And I'm going to look it up
Same.
for you right now.
I just thought about that because I was like, I guess they should be starting on that soon.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, it expires at the end of next season. December 1st, 2026. Mark your calendars, everyone. That's when the MLB CBA expires.
Okay, then.
So we'll have this year, we'll have next year, but right after the World Series, oh, it is going to be ugly.
Mm-hmm.
The 2027 season, not looking good.
Nope.
Not looking good at all.
Nope. And I guess we'll have to make an entire episode on just if they do make an agreement, we'll just have to make an entire episode on just that. See what's going on with
We,
that.
we do a whole series on that.
Yeah. Yep. Probably get like 4 or 5 episodes out of that, at least.
He's easily. You know,
Anyway,
I could do 5 episodes talking about the TV deals.
fair enough. I guess I gotta be more creative on that and coming up with topics.
You're good.
Anyways, just want to briefly cover that, and we've got some time before we probably have to go into major coverage of the actual CBA and the possible longest player strike. Um, anyways, the more pressing matter of today's episode is,
Fun, more fun.
yeah, I guess you could describe that because it came up with some ingenuity. Uh,
Sure.
there have been discussions, for those who do not know, there have been discussions not only about expansion in the MLB, but also about league and division changes. So, question one, where should the league kind of expand to? And two, how would you arrange the leagues and divisions as well if you were to rearrange everything?
This is fun. This this
Mhm.
this is like I get to create my own baseball league here.
Yes, sir.
So
Because
one, I have the MLB expanding. Oh, go ahead.
remember I sent you a text message of I think it was like MLB on Fox, their
Yep.
like idea, and you were like,
Yeah, and it was
I don't particularly
awful.
care for that.
It was god awful. Um, I have the MLB expanding to Salt Lake City and Nashville.
Mhm.
I think those are like the two locations. Right now, I think the major contenders for expansion are Salt Lake City, Portland, and Nashville. Uh, For my geographical arrangement of the league, putting a team out west in the same geographical region as the Rockies makes sense. And then putting another team in the South to kind of compete with the Braves also makes sense. You kind of create more geographical rivalries. Going off of geography, one of the things Rob Manfred mentioned when they were talking about potential realignment is geographical realignment to cut down on travel, which is hiring on the players. Also saves the MLB money because you got less travel costs if you're not flying across the country as much. Um, so with the two expansion teams, and I created, I went all out here. I said, screw the AL, screw the NL. We're going just straight divisions here.
Okay.
Going crazy with it. So I have one, two, three, four. I have seven divisions.
Okay.
Um, most of them are four teams. Some two exactly are five team divisions. So we have the MLB West Coast that consists of the Seattle Mariners, San Francisco Giants, the LA teams, and the Padres. MLB Central, which would be the Colorado Rockies, the Salt Lake City expansion team, Arizona Diamondbacks, and the Texas Rangers.
Okay.
Then we head over to the South, which consists of the Houston Astros, Atlanta Braves, Tampa Bay, Miami Marlins, and the Washington Nationals. We got the MLB North, which consists of the Minnesota Twins, the Chicago teams, and the Milwaukee Brewers.
Okay.
And we got a good old Great Lakes division. We got Cleveland, Detroit, Toronto, and Pittsburgh. Um, Obviously, very geographically close together, all those teams. All these teams really are.
So yeah,
Um,
it's like your North and Great Lakes are all geographically close to each other there.
yeah. Um, yeah, I'm struggling for names here with this one, but like these teams consist in the Great Plains region, so we're going with the MLB Great Plains for lack of creativity on my part. We got the Kansas City Royals, St. Louis Cardinals, Cincinnati Reds, and the Nashville expansion team. Really, Nashville is kind of like in a gray area. I can put it in the South. I could have put it where I did.
Mm.
If I put it in the South, that means I probably would have had to kick Houston or one of the Florida teams to a different division, and obviously those teams make sense to be in the South. Um, then we head over east. We have the MLB East, which consists of the Red Sox, Yankees, Mets, and Orioles.
Okay.
And
Awesome.
there we go.
All right.
Don't ask me how the playoffs would work. I didn't get that far. We're just going off the divisions.
Fair enough. I didn't explicitly say that. I actually came up with kind of like two options here. And when I looked it up, I was like, there were like a handful of teams that were kind of like the main like options for the league to expand to, being Montreal, Nashville, Salt Lake, Portland, Charlotte, and Mexico City. I only got two
Interesting.
options. Huh?
Interesting.
Yeah. So I only was able to get to two options that I could come up with. Option one includes Salt Lake and Montreal and how I think that could play out. I kept the same kind of like basic AL and NL options here for both of these options. I changed the divisions though. I did change that. So for the AL East, and I kept it kind of like you did regional variant as well.
Hmm.
So I did for the AL East, I did Boston, both New Yorks, and Philadelphia. For the AL North, I did Toronto, Detroit, Cleveland, Montreal. Midwest, I did both Chicago's, Kansas City, and St. Louis. South AL South,
I
I
like that.
did, huh?
I like that.
Yeah, I did for the AL South, I did Houston, Atlanta, Tampa Bay, and LA Angels, to be exact. For the NL East, granted, I think this the NL East will probably be the weakest division out of all of them. But I did Pittsburgh, Baltimore, Washington, Miami, kind of like East Coast vibes there.
Hmm.
For the AL North, this one might be a bit of a stretch, but I did Cincinnati, Milwaukee, Minnesota, and Seattle because I did kind of like northern half of the country. For the Midwest, I did Colorado, Arizona, Salt Lake City, and the Athletics because they were moving to Las Vegas.
Yep.
In the NL South, I did the Dodgers, San Diego, San Francisco, Texas. So that was for
Interesting.
my Salt Lake, Montreal option. Now I did another one with Nashville and Portland. Same basic premises, did a little bit of a change as well. Let's see. AL East was the same, both New York's and Philadelphia and Boston. Uh, the AL North, ironically, I did Detroit, Cleveland, Toronto, and Portland, oddly enough. Midwest, I did Colorado, both Chicago's, St. Louis. For the AL South, I did Atlanta, Miami, Tampa Bay, and the LA Angels. Uh, for the NL East, I did Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Washington, Nashville. North, Cincinnati, Milwaukee, Minnesota, Seattle. For the NL Midwest, I did Kansas City, Arizona, Las Vegas being the Athletics, Texas, the Rangers. And South was Dodgers, Houston, San Francisco, and San Diego.
You had an interesting alignment there. It may not be the most efficient travel and geographic wise,
For some of
but
them,
I like it.
yeah,
I like it.
yeah. Because it's like I had a hard time placing Portland and Seattle in
Right.
because it's
Yeah,
like
see that's why I went with like the whole West Coast thing because they're
yeah,
all just like right on the coast, they're all close to each other.
yeah,
But be very I like how competitive your divisions would be, and I like that you kept the Cubs and the Cardinals
yeah.
rivalry alive. Where looking at my divisions, I kind of
Mm.
neglected that, and you know that
It's
would
like
mean
I wanted
probably
to
not
keep
having one of the biggest rivalries in baseball.
because it's like I wanted to keep the biggest rivalry of all time being New York Boston together.
Yep.
It's like and then you throw in like a consistent Subway series and not like once every 2 years.
Yeah, yeah. Give me all of that.
Yeah. And then throw in the Hellfire city of Philadelphia when it comes to fan bases. I
Dude,
just I just threw
that division would be insane. I would fear for my life
I threw that
in
division
it.
together for shits and giggles, to be honest.
Well, I think our East divisions are relatively the same. Like mine was the Red Sox, New York, Yankees, and Mets, and the Orioles. The only one that I'm missing is swap Baltimore and Philadelphia, and we got the same
Yeah.
division there. Um, I've seen a lot of other opinions online where it would be like Boston, Toronto, both New York teams, and Philly. I'm like, oh my God, that division would be insane.
Yeah, and it's like having five teams the okay, five teams now makes sense because it's only 30 teams all across the board, right? That's the only
Yep.
reason five teams in a division works. If you have 32 teams, you have to split it up four teams a division. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Because it's like you have to keep it simple for the playoffs, right?
Right. Yeah.
It doesn't change much about the actual playoffs. It keeps it all relatively speaking the same. So You just have to make maybe minor changes here and there, but that's it.
Right. Yeah, there you go. I think that was fun.
Yeah. I mean,
Good
we could
little good
definitely
little
come up
breakdown.
with like how the playoffs would work.
Oh God, I probably have to redo my entire thing because I don't know how playoffs would work with seven divisions.
Yeah, definitely.
That would be fun. That'd be fun.
Yes. So let me write that down. Uh, new expansion draft or expansion playoff system.
It'd be another fun one though, because there would have to be an expansion draft.
And that was actually what I was just thinking about. I was like, how is the MLB's like expansion draft supposed to work?
Hey, there you go. There's an idea for us. Top 10 baseball list. Here we come. Top 10 players most likely to be put in the expansion draft.
And it's like we'd have to look up uh how that would work anyways. Because it's like, what is it? Like they take what? Maybe 10 players each or something like that from each team.
Yeah, well, it'd probably have to be
Plus,
more than that because they'd
yeah.
have to fill the whole farm system too.
Well, not only the expansion draft, but you also have to take into account the MLB rookies draft as
Right.
well.
Yeah.
Because that's what the entire purpose of the rookie draft is.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm just glad we're not involved in it. We just get to watch it.
Yeah. And we just get to throw out like bizarre theories.
Oh, we could do that. Oh, we could do that. We could do that big time. Big time.
hmm Yeah. And you know what? I'll throw in this last one. Um, what the heck happened to the Guardians?
You know what? Yeah. Streaky team, man. Streaky team. We see the highs to the highs and the lowest of the lows with this team. And the only thing consistent about this team is they are consistently inconsistent.
Yeah.
And yeah, you know what? I don't know. They got to figure something out.
hmm Because it's like someone's got to go. It's like, is it the owner? Is it the front office? Because at some point you just got to draw the line because it's like the manager can only do so much.
Well, it's Stephen Vogt's only in his second year,
Exactly. That's the point
and
I'm trying to make.
I think he's gone through some growing pains this year. I think last year, I think he had some players really overachieve
hmm
to what they're capable of. Um, and I mean, to go to the ALCS in your first year as a manager, that's impressive. But this year, obviously, very different.
hmm
Yeah, I think you're just going through a lot of growing pains as an organization. And you know what? I think we're starting to see a philosophical change in this organization just by what they did at the draft and what they've done recently with waiving Carlos Santana. Um, I don't know, man. They keep trotting out the same message every year. And I'm like, you know what? At this point, that dog don't hunt.
hmm
I ain't believing it anymore. Something's got to change. Like it's great to always be in respectable category.
hmm
We're always 80 plus wins,
hmm
which is great. It's good.
Yeah.
I think this organization has been consistently good enough where expectations are fairly high. Like we're not begging for a World Series every year. It'd be nice to win one. We
Yeah.
haven't won one since 1948.
hmm
Neither of us were alive.
Yeah.
Our parents weren't alive. My grandparents saw a Cleveland World Series.
Yeah.
Um, it would be nice to win one in my lifetime, but you know what? I'm thankful that we have an organization that at least it gets you in the party almost every year.
Yeah.
But it'd be nice to more than once every decade have a legitimate World Series contender.
Mm.
The 2016 team came out of nowhere, and they were as close as you possibly could get to winning a World Series without winning a World Series. And it's hard to believe, but that was 9 years ago now.
Yep.
And I still think about that game 7 every single day.
Yep. Same here.
Not a day, honestly, not a day goes by where I don't think about game 7 of the 2016 World Series. That sounds obsessive, and it is, but it's true.
But it's like, here's the thing. It's like for the past, what, 40 years now, the Cleveland has been one of the greatest teams the MLB has seen, like record wise. Because you got the 90s teams that went
Yeah.
not only to the
Uh,
playoffs every year, but they made the World Series 95, 97. Early
yeah, but
2000s
then
were, hold
you got
on.
those early 2000s and Manny Acta years that are like,
Well, early 2000s, I up until about 2005 were pretty good teams. 2007 was kind of like an off year for that like generation in the late 2000s.
2007 they still made the ALCS. That was kind
Yeah.
of like a surprise year. Like, but yeah, after that, 2008, yeah,
But
no.
at the same time, it's like I don't necessarily blame Manny Acta because he was given some trash teams to work with when you think about it. He really
He
was.
absolutely was, but he also just wasn't a good manager.
That too, but
Um,
at the end, this is kind of like my point. It's like, how much can you blame the coach when he was given garbage teams to work with?
you know what? He's the Guardians, or sorry, at the time the Indians version of Hugh Jackson. He's the Indians Hugh Jackson.
Who's Hugh Jackson? Oh, sorry, I'm dumb. Fuck.
Sailed right over your head there, bud.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, he's the bad coach that didn't get another chance in Major League Baseball, and that's okay.
Yeah,
That's okay. We need people like that.
true.
But yeah, ever since Tito 2013, yeah, they've consistently been.
One of
I
the
think they
best
have
teams.
what the third or fourth most wins in Major League Baseball since 2013, which is great. I appreciate that. You got nothing to show for it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the biggest
So,
disappointment. It's like,
well, and it's yes, money is tight with this team, but it's not like they're not making money.
yeah.
They posted over $100 million in revenue last year. You
Hmm.
got money. I think the revenue was over $300 million last year. You
And
can afford to spend more money on this team.
the thing is, it's
And the
like,
fact that they're not willing to even spend $15 million to re-sign Matthew Boyd, that would have been nice to have this year.
hmm.
You could have done that. You
Yep.
could have got Gleyber Torres in free agency. That would have been nice to have. You could have plugged him in at second base instead of having a platoon of Daniel Schneemann, Angel Martinez, Brian Rocchio, Nick Booker. Like, there's like they're putting any warm body over there at second base just to fill a lineup.
It's,
And
it's
you
like,
could have went out and got not superstars, but MLB caliber players
mm,
for not that expensive contracts. And you could have been a more competitive team this
yep. And it's like, this is kind of like my theory ish. My theory. It's like when they do spend money, it's like when they do spend money, they spend it on the wrong players. And when they do
year,
have the
except
right
Jose
player,
Ramirez.
huh?
except Jose Ramirez. But
Except,
yes.
but here's the thing. I don't count him because it's like he was already in the team. That was just an extension.
Oh, you're talking about free agency
Like
signings.
free agency signings.
Yeah.
Because it's like you had Edwin Encarnacion, who
He was pretty good. He was
he
pretty
was
good.
pretty good
I'll give him
at
a pass on
best.
that one.
He was pretty good at best. You had Michael Bourne, Nick Swisher.
Yep, those are the big ones.
Those are the two immediate ones. You had
Yeah.
Edwin Encarnacion, who was pretty good at best, but not great.
He still gave you 30 home runs a
True.
year.
You also had Franmil Reyes, who you gave too much time to.
Yeah, that was
Great.
we acquired him in a trade though, but yeah, I
Yeah.
get your point.
So it's like their excuse is, okay, we've gone out and spent money and spent things and it's burned us, so why do we do this ever more? So,
Yeah.
and that's the thing that
I
frustrates me.
right. Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Anyways, this has been a long enough episode to begin with. So, and that was just
Yes,
three topics and a throw in.
I am very ready to go to bed. My alarm is set for 5 a.m. And we're gonna be living on coffee and a prayer tomorrow, bud.
Yeah, but yeah. Anyways, I'll let you go. Thank you, Deep Dive Sports fans, for tuning in to another episode of Don Deck. Thank you, Dom, for tuning in, or helping out, I should say.
Tuning in as always.
But yeah, thank you again for tuning in, guys, and have a good day.